people in Hollywood for years have endorsed, reinforced, excused, supported, participated in sexual misconduct. So why is it so far-fetched that people in Hollywood would also lie, scheme, throw people under the bus, mistreat people, not pay them fairly, not pay them equally, especially when people have come out and said that these things exist? Why is it so hard to believe when Miss MoNique says it? Hello everyone. If you're new to the channel, I'm Poe, and I am one half of a podcast called Homegirl Harmonies that you can find on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and those other little places where you can get your podcast. We also have a website, www.homegirlharmonies.com, where you'll find information about the podcast, about me and my co-host and best friend Nige. You'll also find some information on some local stuff that we got going on. If you're in the Metro Detroit area, go over and check out the website, www.homegirlharmonies.com. Facebook, Homegirl Harmonies. Instagram, Homegirl Harmonies. Twitter. Today I am here to do my due diligence and put my 2 cents in on this MoNique situation. What is the MoNique situation? If you've been living under a rock, you know that MoNique maybe a month ago made a video calling for a boycott of Netflix for gender bias and color bias. She said she was offered $500,000 to do a Netflix stand-up special. She said that, basically that was a low offer. They offered Amy Schumer $11 million. They offered Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock $20 million to do their stand-up specials, and she felt like they were discriminating against her as a black woman. That's why she said gender bias and color bias, and that's why she brought up the examples that she brought up. A lot of people had a lot to say about that. The biggest thing I think that the majority of the people agreed with was that nobody was boycotting Netflix. I think even she knew that nobody was boycotting Netflix, but I don't think that she knew that she was going to get the kind of backlash that she has been getting since the beginning, despite the amount of receipts that she's dropped, despite the amount of, claims that she debunked, despite, anything that people have, any of the stuff that people have been throwing at her, she's had an answer for it. So between the Breakfast Club interview that she did, videos that people like the Scorpion Show and Funky Dineva have been posting, everybody seems to be upset about this one little part of this whole MoNique situation. The fact that she can evoke the Me Too movement to support the point that she's making. So, what Charlamagne said was that she was making a false equivalency when she mentioned the Me Too movement, and when she was making her point about her situation with Netflix and the wage and color disparities that she said she was victim of over the course of when she was trying to get her Netflix deal. So one, I'm going to address the false equivalency accusation. So, a false equivalency is when there are two sides of an argument, and basically one side who doesn't have as much evidence or doesn't have supporting facts or whatever for their argument, they somehow compare the other side of the argument. So when Trump said there are bad people on many sides or whatever he said, what he was doing was basically saying whatever Antifa and whatever they were doing in the midst of that riot was just as bad as the neo-Nazis. So we need to be condemning both sides. That's an example of a false equivalency. What MoNique was doing was basically what I said in the beginning. We see that Hollywood is capable of mistreatment of epic proportions. So why wouldn't you believe what I'm telling you? Initially, I was blackballed for not wanting to work for free. Doing more than what was required of her in her contract. Doing more than what she was contractually obligated to do. She didn't want to promote all over the world for Precious after only getting paid $50,000 to do that role. This is not something new. This is not something unheard of. She wasn't the first one to do this. She wasn't the last one to do this. Kevin Hart, one of the movies that he was doing, he wasn't posting about it on his Instagram because he wasn't contractually obligated to do so, and him doing so would be basically him working for free. He's using his platform, he's using his brand to promote for free. Nowadays, don't nobody do that. Everybody is capable of having a personal brand online, and they shouldn't have to fucking exploit it for free. This is the point that MoNique was making during the time of Precious, and she said Oprah, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels all had a hand in blackballing her, telling people that she was difficult, making her name mud in Hollywood simply because she said she didn't want to do that. In addition to that, there were some other situations where they wanted to fly Gabourey Sidibe out there and coach with basically nothing, pay her nothing, do nothing for her, don't have no hair and makeup ready for her, and they want her to do this promotion. Gabourey Sidibe was a bigger girl, so they weren't making sure that she was comfortable while she was out there working for free. And MoNique said something about this. Maybe it wasn't her business, but MoNique did indeed say something about it. This also contributed to them spreading the word that she is difficult to work with. She's a nightmare. She's this, she's that. Still, MoNique managed to get, work here and there in Hollywood, but she was also being mistreated along the way, given low offers for things, and she said it's still happening. But now is when she decided to say something about it. Again, not something that's uncommon. Viola Davis at the same time right now is speaking out on wage disparities in Hollywood. She basically said, y'all say I'm the Black Meryl Streep? Y'all think I'm the Black Meryl Streep? Pay me like I'm the Black Meryl Streep. Nothing different from what MoNique is saying. When she brings up the Me Too movement, she's basically saying this went on in Hollywood unchecked, and nope, when people did say something, they would get blackballed. They would, disappear into oblivion. You see this new up-and-coming actress, and all of a sudden she ain't there no more because she didn't have a run-in with a Harvey Weinstein or somebody else who using their power to, manipulate situations and manipulate up-and-coming actors and actresses. If the politics and culture of Hollywood is capable of letting that happen, why is it so hard to believe that they would also participate in this blackball culture? Lowballing her, making sure that she suffers because she didn't do what they wanted her to do. She didn't play the game. Goes to another point when she was on The View and Whoopi. Again, people come to these interviews with their mind already made up. They done already decided that they don't give a fuck about what MoNique is talking about. She, she don't deserve nothing. She ain't that funny. She ain't did nothing. She ain't relevant. Whatever. People already have their mind made up. So every time she comes to a different platform with more information, because now she's defending and her legacy, her resume. She's to a point where the very people, and it's her community, the very people that her work was catered and crafted to and for, those are the people that she has to now defend herself to. MoNique has always targeted the black community. Her comedy is for the black community. She's the only woman, any comedian that performed in a fucking women's prison. The queens of comedy broke records. She was in Precious. She's versatile. She's capable of all these things. She's tried and true. She has the receipts for what she can do. Every time she do something, every time she's involved, every time she get on her fucking Periscope, people tune in. Now everybody wants to know, how dare MoNique think that she's worth anything more than $500,000? This wasn't even it's not as self-serving as people think it is. It couldn't possibly be, because MoNique is not, she's not benefiting from continuing to burn bridges in Hollywood. Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and all of them, they blackballed her way back around 2009. She didn't say nothing for a while until she did say something. Then she said something, and then they did more damage. Then she got up there and told them all to suck her dick. What benefit is there in burning those bridges with Oprah, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, when you as a black ass comedian, you do black ass comedy, and those are the three blackest motherfuckers to work with. Those are who you would want to play the game for. But MoNique said, I'm tired of playing the game. At this point in 2018, we shouldn't still be playing the game, because playing the game is, like she said, walking up to that hotel room. Playing the game, this is a situation that is not exclusive to MoNique. She's just the only one, not even the only one, but she's the one that's talking about it right now. Just like all them women, again, it's not to compare it. It's not to act like they hold equal weight. It's to show the culture and the politics of Hollywood that lead to all the branches of mistreatment. Sexual misconduct is at the top. And shit, if they're doing some murderous hiding shit and conspiracies, all that type of shit, that's up there too. But the culture, the foundation of that culture trickles down, and this is what you get. She just happens to be saying something about the race and wage disparities, the way the politics of Hollywood affect these people. No, yeah, everybody don't have the opportunity to make $500,000. Yeah, we work in our 9 to 5s. Yeah, this, yeah, that. But that's the industry that MoNique is in, and that's the industry that she's speaking out on. That industry affects a lot of people. There are up-and-coming artists, ones that are directly behind her, ones that are far behind her, ones that are just coming up. Tiffany Haddish. It just came out that Netflix, not for stand-up, but for maybe some cartoon special or something, Netflix offered her $800,000. And one of MoNique's points were, if I take $500,000, what do you think they're going to offer the Tiffany Haddishes? Well, you ain't no Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is no MoNique. Let's keep it real. She's had a good year, a good couple of years. We know how relevance work, but again, I'm going to touch base on that too, because if MoNique was so irrelevant, people wouldn't be tuning in every time she said something. Every time she said something, y'all tuning in and y'all staying on board until she decides that that topic dies down, until she decides to stop talking about it. Y'all still talking about it. Y'all keep talking about it. MoNique got relevance. No, it's not Amy Schumer. No, it's not Tiffany Haddish. It's MoNique. MoNique sells out comedy clubs. That's the expectation of a comedian. All comedians not selling out comedy clubs. Everybody's not booked for months at a time at different shows in different states. Meanwhile, doing movies that make $25 million in profit, doing crossover movies, winning Oscars, all while being blackballed for being difficult because she decides she wants to speak up. She decides that on the set of Almost Christmas, some white executive man ain't finna physically throw no check at her assistant. She's going to say something about it. But people in Hollywood like Whoopi Goldberg would have you believe that that's the game. That's the game you play. You shut up and let that shit go on. That's how I got this far. Well, Whoopi, maybe, perhaps, we should stop playing a game at some point. Like MoNique said, the finish line keeps being moved up when it comes to black women. People act like black women don't have a point when they say that when it comes to pretty much any industry, we are devalued the most. Any aspect, any arena, any realm, we are devalued the most. No matter what we do, it's not that we sit comfortably in that bottom spot, because we're not actually in the bottom spot. But that's where everybody wants you to be. And when you say something about it, what happens? You get blackballed. What happens? The very community that you cater to turns on you and acts like you ain't never did shit for them. Entertainment wise. Now you're speaking out on behalf of not only yourself, the people that come behind you, the people that came before you that couldn't fight that fight. But y'all think it's bullshit. Y'all think she full of shit. Y'all think she condescending when she call y'all brothers and sisters. Not even just y'all, everybody. She calls everybody her brothers and sisters, and she could call y'all a bunch of bitches for how y'all treating her in the situation, for how everybody's acting like they don't know what the fuck goes on. MoNique is completely full of shit. Then you have people like Charlamagne. What do you think? Why do you think you deserve $20 million? That ain't what she said. This is the conversation that she said she had with Netflix. Netflix offered her that $500,000, and when it came time to have a conversation about the $500,000, they said, "Oh, MoNique, we think you're a legend. We do this, blah, blah, whatever, whatever." And she said, "So if I'm considered a legend, if you think I'm a legend, then how come I'm not getting legend money? That don't mean how come I'm not getting the same as Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. That means how come I'm getting something that you would give to fucking some newcomer, somebody who ain't tried and true, somebody who comedy specials have not brought in the coin, some people who don't have a fan base. Why would I, MoNique the legend, be offered $500,000? Then they say, oh, it's based on anticipation. Everything that MoNique has done, this is her point. Whether it was almost Christmas, whether it was whatever, it made a profit. Oh, you wasn't the only star in Almost Christmas. Amy Schumer ain't the only person in the movies that she in. You just don't fucking know the other white people. That's the thing. But MoNique, the movie that MoNique was in, that she was top billed for, that she was all up and through the trailer, that she was the comedic relief for, $25 million profit. Budget shit. That's what she was a part of. So when you ask her, why do you think you're worth, no, that's not even what she said. But why does she think she's worth that? Because she put in that work. That's why. Why can't she feel like she's worth something? When you go into your business meetings and such, you negotiate and maybe you let it go. Maybe you don't say something about it. MoNique said, people say, oh, MoNique, you need to go somewhere else. You need to go to Amazon. You need to go to this place. You need to go to that place. Okay, let's go back to the original point. Tyler Perry, Oprah, Lee Daniels, they all put in work to blackball me. Oprah don't give a fuck. They did this. They spread the word. Maybe it didn't come directly from Oprah's mouth, but their functions, those people, those entities, put their energy into blackballing, knowing what the blackball does in Hollywood, into blackballing MoNique because she didn't do what they wanted her to do. She didn't play the game the way they wanted her to play it. So they said, oh, you got to suffer for this. And she said something about it. So now what happens? That blackball, that culture, that same culture that blackballs them young actresses that don't want to get fucked by Harvey Weinstein, or the one that gotta play the game, like Lupita said when she had to give Harvey Weinstein a massage to try to ease out of that situation. Why the fuck do people gotta deal with that? Whether it's sexual misconduct, whether it's regular mistreatment, why is that culture supported? Because if you'll support it here, it's being supported there. If ain't nobody saying shit about the sexual misconduct in Hollywood, it's going to continue to happen. If this blackball culture, if this culture of playing the game is the game. The game just don't happen to be fucking with MoNique. It just don't happen to be sexual misconduct with MoNique. The game with MoNique is you're going to work for free, you're going to take these low offers, you're going to do what the fuck we say, and you're going to appreciate it. And we're going to act like these rumors or these whatever are founded simply because it's Oprah. And you know what, people, I need y'all to understand that y'all don't know Oprah. When somebody who knows Oprah says something about Oprah, I'm inclined to believe that person that actually knows Oprah instead of a bunch of internet people who have no idea about these people. You idolize them for the amount of money that they have, for the projects that they slapped their names on. And this is no shade to Oprah, because I love Oprah, but I don't know Oprah. So I can't say that Oprah isn't capable of being on some fuck shit. I can't put it past Tyler Perry. I can't put it past Lee Daniels. Then Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club gonna say, well, nobody has ever said anything bad about these people. Again, why she had to make her point. Nobody said shit about some of them predators in Hollywood either. Or when they did say it, nobody did shit about it. It's playing the game. So if Tyler Perry, Oprah, or Lee Daniels said anything, put anybody's career in jeopardy, threw anybody under the bus, yeah, there's a chance they didn't say nothing about it. But MoNique said, I'm going to say something about it. I'm not going to allow them to blackball me, suffer in silence, not say something about the shit that goes on that affects all the people involved, all the people in the industry. I'm not going to sit on this and not say something about it. She's very transparent. People have a problem with that. Y'all so real, 100, what the fuck. But when somebody is actually keeping it real about the situation, showing you emails, telling you names, it's something wrong with it. See, MoNique, this what they be talking about. What you do when somebody mistreats you? You sit on it? That's playing the game. That's suffering in silence. That's being complicit. That's supporting the bad behavior when you don't say something about it. Charlamagne, Angela Yee, DJ Envy, Funky Dineva, whoever, when you act like you don't understand the point that she's making, you endorse the culture that got her in that situation. We're going to ignore the information that MoNique put out because the information that she has doesn't serve my narrative. It doesn't serve my agenda and what I want to do, the kind of radio that I want to make right now. Me having all the facts of the matter, me actually looking at her argument, even if there are areas where it's flawed. Because again, I can understand how people said what she's doing is she's making a false equivalency. Okay, ma'am is not a supreme wordsmith. You know, she tries very hard to be transparent, to be clear, to be concise, for people to understand what the fuck she's saying. But if you don't like the way that she shaped that example to get you to understand that what she was talking about, at least you can see what she's talking about. You can understand what she's talking about instead of jumping to, oh, that's a logical fallacy. Like, okay, you know words, but what is she saying? What is she saying? You hear what she's saying, just like you heard Amara La Negra. Just like you heard all them black women on Twitter that dragged you and told you that you don't value black women. This is not the first person that said it. And I don't know why people were tripping out like, oh my God, MoNique said this. She was being nasty and mean when she said that he doesn't value black women. Because that's not the first person that said that. Crystal on the Reed says it a good once a month because he's saying something dumb regarding black women. But now, oh no, y'all don't understand what he's saying. And again, he tries to act like his point is, well, I was just saying, why do you think you deserve $20 million? That lets me know you're being intellectually dishonest. You're missing her point. At this point, fuck Netflix, fuck the deal, fuck whatever. What's the point that she's making? No, because you can't stand to be corrected. Ironically, that's not what you said in your book. But because every last one of y'all said, MoNique has a point. I agree with you. The deal was low. That is some bullshit. But, so we're going to dismiss all that shit because she called her husband daddy. Because somebody said she was difficult. Without looking at the whole picture. This woman said, what was that, on CNN years ago, that Lee Daniels blackballed her. Lee Daniels confirmed that he blackballed her. Tyler Perry said, you know what, MoNique, you're right. And after Medea's Boo Christmas, I'm going to say something. I'm going to rectify the situation. Didn't do anything. We know Lee Daniels is a messy ass motherfucker. I don't know why anybody puts it past him, so y'all, Again, let this be any other situation. You dragging all three of them. Oprah don't need to be president. Tyler Perry makes coon movies. This and that and that. They so fucked up in every other aspect. But when MoNique say something about it, oh, MoNique, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't burn bridges. You shouldn't. Y'all don't like the delivery. Y'all don't like the package. She not in your favorite fucking current TV show. What is it? Why was it such, again, when most of y'all are saying $500,000 was too low. After taxes is $5. $500,000 for somebody who's been in the industry 40 years plus. $500,000 for somebody she's not coming out of the fucking woodworks. It's not her comeback tour. $500,000 and y'all agree that was a shitty deal. Oh, but that's just how business works. That's just when you got somebody who's blackballed, you can offer them anything. You could this, you could that, and then you do that. Her point was, when we addressed Netflix didn't say none of that. Netflix said anticipation. She said, okay, everything I'm in, highly anticipated, high return on investment. Oh, well, Amy Schumer sold out arenas. Okay, that's cool. Give her the millions. Millions and millions. But $500,000 for her to sit idly for 2 years while they do whatever they do with that piece of content? She can't work nowhere else. She can't tell no jokes nowhere else. She can't do shit else but sit with the $500,000 for 2 years? Really? And that's not something worth speaking up on, because like she said, if they'll do that to her, if they'll offer her that, what do you think they're going to offer? Again, devaluing black women and what they offer. What they going to offer? Charlamagne, I guarantee Tiffany Haddish is going to get millions and millions and millions and millions. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. So now Tiffany Haddish is the finish. Tiffany Haddish is the one that's going to... Tiffany Haddish is the funniest black comedian of all time. She's the one that put in the most work. She was the first black woman to host SNL. Again, the fact that she was the first black woman to host SNL should point further to this culture we're talking about. To what MoNique is talking about. You don't do what they want, you get shitted on. It's twice as bad when you're black, 4 times as bad when you're a black woman. And you have your own niggas. Your own niggas that tell you ain't shit. After your whole career has been catered to them. You ain't shit. You ain't worth shit. Yeah, you got a point, but fuck you. Like, it's getting ridiculous. Again, it's like at this point, content creators, people with platforms like The Breakfast Club, if she's so irrelevant and this shit don't make no sense, stop using it to get your ratings. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. Y'all should be worth more than that. Like, stop acting like you don't understand what the fuck she's talking about. Charlemagne is good for doing this with black women. Marlon was on there a couple weeks ago. He acted like he didn't know what the fuck colorism and fucking light skin and privilege was. Like he didn't just have Jermaine Dupri on 2 weeks prior talking about, yeah, it was harder for a dark skinned girl in the industry. But this week with Marlon Negro, he don't know what the fuck is she talking about. Oh, I feel like your colorism is just a storyline for Love and Hip Hop. Oh, okay. So this is not a skin that I actually live in, that I actually had to fight for my, my opportunities in. This is not where I watch what people offer their slave and fucking prostitute roles in this skin because she was dark. This is not no, this is just for Love and Hip Hop. This is a storyline. It's making me mad.